Hey, this is Stephanie.
And I'm Nina.
And you're listening to Live by the Spirit podcast.
Hi.
Hello.
This is just going to be 3 minutes of us laughing.
I know.
Just picture it.
I'm exhausted. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well right now, actually.
I didn't get my Sunday nap.
We literally
just talk about our
had
full day.
So much going on today.
Had to be at church super early to serve.
You weren't there that early.
For
you
not
were like
but
8:45.
But for not, I could not fall asleep last night to save my
Same.
life. So I don't think I fell asleep till like 2:30.
I
So
didn't go to bed until when I woke up at 5:45.
Yeah, anyways.
So we both are at church super early.
Yeah. Then had church.
Then we went to lunch,
Then we went to Sam's Club.
which took 5 ever. And then we went to Walmart. Then we got your car.
Yeah.
You went home super quick. I came home. Now here we are.
And I just cut up the biggest watermelon of my entire life.
We're like hanging for the 4th of July.
Oh, I wish it was the 4th of July. It's Memorial Day.
Day.
Very important day.
And so we were getting all this food
Yeah.
prepped and ready.
Yeah. Sam's Club had the biggest watermelon. I pride myself on my watermelon cutting skills, and that was a beast.
You did that really fast.
I told you I can cut up a watermelon. I could have done that 10 times faster if it was a normal sized
Yeah,
watermelon.
it was pretty thick.
She was a big boy.
She a thickie.
But yeah, so we apologize, but it's going to be another week of
Probably
mayhem.
some fun questions if nothing comes to mind.
We just have another crazy week, and so we
Yeah.
don't have time to sit down and plan.
I have a friend coming into town. We have Memorial Day plans tomorrow and just running through the whole week, plans every day. So
yeah, you would think with Nina being done with work
You
that
would think.
wow, we'd have time to do stuff, but
No.
no.
it's pretty bad. But it'll be fine. It'll be great.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So if you prefer our topic episodes, this may not be the episode for you because we don't even know what we're going to talk about.
Honestly, I think this would be a funny day just to like talk about some fun things and just see what happens. And like,
yeah. So
because people really enjoyed like our first episode where we shared stories and things like that.
yeah, I enjoyed that too.
A lot of people really enjoyed like us bouncing off each other, like the humor and like the stories and stuff. And when we did our catch up with us episode, we didn't really share a lot of story type deals.
Yeah.
So like I think it would be kind of funny if we shared things
Oh,
like that.
goodness.
Or like shared our favorites. That's always a fun thing. I enjoy listening to people's favorites.
Favorites what?
Like favorite song, favorite movie, favorite show, favorite food, favorite color, like all the favorites.
All the favorites.
I enjoy things like that.
Okay.
That might just be me though.
I like stuff like that too.
I think it's funny that our roles are reversed. I'm now talking a lot and you're being
I am
chill like
so
me I normally am.
tired. I'm so tired.
We're gonna be outside all day tomorrow, so we need
I
a lot
know.
of rest tonight.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm trying to think if there's any story. Maybe I guess if we go into favorites, we can talk about stories.
I already just thought of a story.
Oh no, what?
Okay. So let's start out
What's
by
the content?
favorite animal.
Okay. If my
Overall.
favorite pet animal, like to have a pet, would probably be a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like
my
your
favorite
favorite-
animal, like if I go to the zoo and I want to
Mhm.
see an animal, is a bear.
What kind of bear?
I like black bears.
Black bears?
But like I think it's because I grew up in California. We'd go to Big Bear and you would just
Mhm.
see a ton of bears.
That's pretty sick, though.
I know. So I don't like seeing them out in the wild. Like when they're
Yeah.
I hate
Naturally.
saying caged in. I'm an animal lover and I hate like going to the zoo and seeing them caged
But
in.
you also love the zoo.
I love Nashville. There's not that much to do in like Nashville. We don't have like an amusement park in Nashville.
That's true.
So it's like if you want to have like that kind of day, your only option is the zoo.
we don't have an aquarium, right?
No, we have a restaurant in Opry Mills that it has, I forgot what it's called, but it has like the restaurant has like aquariums in it.
No.
But that's the closest thing. We have an aquarium in Chattanooga.
Okay.
So if you
Yeah,
want
and
to
if you're
drive
going
2
to
hours.
Chattanooga, you may as well just drive to Dollywood at that point to go to an amusement park.
Yeah. So, which we've done.
We have done that. We got to go back, and I'll be more brave this time.
Oh yeah, Nina,
I hate roller coasters.
which is totally fine. I always say to people who tell me that they're afraid of roller coasters, when was the last time you rode a roller coaster? 9 times out of 10, they tell me when they were little, and I'm like, you need to just give it a shot now that you're an adult, because
I think I was 15.
Yeah, I just if there's been a big jump in time, you need to give it one chance.
I mean, and it wasn't even that I didn't like it. I just don't like the idea of a flipping upside down.
I didn't either for the longest time, and I still get really anxious when I'm in line for. I don't like waiting in crazy long lines for those, but I always have the most fun. There was one though that we did, and I'm 5'3", and our friend Chad's like 6'2" or something like that, and it was me, Chad, our friend Jude, and our friend Joe, and Jude and Joe wanted to ride together, and so I was the shortest person in the group
with the tallest
person in the group, and it was like I think it's called the Eagle.
Was it the hanging one?
Yes, and it was my first time
and
ever.
I were trying to run and see you guys drop.
Yeah, I think that was like my first time I ever rode one that was hanging like that, where you're like you had nothing for your feet to touch, and I just felt like I was gonna fall out of it.
It was funny because Chad was like, I barely made the cutoff.
Oh yeah, they made Chad take his shoes off. Because I mean, dead serious.
Actually hilarious.
I literally thought I was about to have to sit there and ride it by myself. I was so freaking nervous.
That's hilarious.
I was like, I would be okay riding this when I have someone next to me, but like me having to ride it alone, because them other boys weren't gonna split up. So
wow.
But yeah, so that's my favorite animal's bear. Did you have another story?
I didn't share my favorite animal.
Oh, what's your favorite animal?
A giraffe.
Okay.
So, I'm a giraffe gal. You know me.
We used to have giraffes. I don't know if we still do.
No,
I think
we do.
I think we do. Yeah, we
But
used to
when
have
I
elephants, and they're gone.
3 weeks ago, the exhibit was closed. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh, they're doing a lot
whole
of
day
renovation.
Yeah, and that was the one animal I wanted to see, and I couldn't see it. But my story that made me think of this question is I was trying to think of funny stories that I could tell, and I thought of this story that happened to me in 2019. Yes, 2019. It was, I was doing summer recreation, and we were going to the zoo with the first and second graders. And it's me, my friend Madison, our friend Kyle, and our friend Dylan. We were the counselors of this group. So we're going around, and we just get to the zoo. The zoo was maybe 35 minutes away. We made all the kids go to the bathroom before we left. We show up at the zoo. This little kid comes up to me, Nina, I really have to use the bathroom. I said, all right, let's get off the bus and we'll walk over there and we'll ask where the bathroom is. We're walking. It's like 100-foot walk. Nina, I need to use the bathroom. I'm like, hold on, give me a second. Like we're getting up there. We walk up to the ticket counter where you pay. This kid takes a whiz right on the carpet in front of the ticket booth. And there's a bathroom right behind him. So I look over, and this kid is peeing through his shorts onto the carpet.
So he's peeing his pants.
Right, like willingly, though.
Oh. Yeah.
He just went. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, what are you doing? He walked over to our lunch bin, grabbed a little backpack out, walked into the bathroom, came out with a new pair of pants on. Like he knew. I was like, wow, Mom's prepared.
Oh my gosh.
That's
disgusting.
It was awful. And it was literally rainy that day. It was downpouring. And we had just gotten there. So it was like 9:30 in the morning.
Then he had pee shorts in his bag.
Oh, I know.
Ew.
I know.
That's
it
disgusting.
was awful.
Man.
Whew.
That reminds me. I had a camper one time when I worked at summer camp who it was my last week of camp. So I made it, this is like my 7th week of having campers at least. And it was the last week, and of course it was like the most difficult week. I just had a camper who was so insanely homesick the entire time that I was literally up half the night consoling her. But anyways, I would always tell the girls to like maybe 30 minutes before bed not to have any more liquids because they're younger.
Naturally.
They were like, these girls I think were in like completed 4th. So I was just like, don't have any more water, because
what does completed 4th mean?
that means they had because it's the summer, so they had just completed 4th grade.
So they were going into 5th grade.
They were going to go into 5th grade.
Okay.
That's just how we organized them.
I had never heard of it being said that way.
That's just how we organized them. And so we so I tell the girls, you know, we'd have a station for they'd put where their water bottles were, and then when they went to bed, I refilled all their water bottles so that way they had fresh water in the morning, because I'm very kind. I didn't have to do that, but I did. And I just had this one girl, it was like right before lights out, come out, and she's like, I'm Banana Split, because that was my camp name. She's like, Banana Split, I am so thirsty, can I have some of my water? I said, you can have a little bit of your water, please do not drink a ton. Like, but at the same time, like, I can't tell her not to have water, but
I can already tell where this is going.
I was like, just have a little bit. And I just see this girl gulp her water down. I'm like, okay. And I was so tired at this point. It was my last week of camp. I was exhausted. She goes to bed. We always had like some form of meeting most nights. So I like waited for all the girls to fall asleep, which was a beast, because I had that one camper that was so homesick. And then I'd go to the meeting, and then I came back. At this point, it's probably like 1 a.m. And I went to bed, and I wake up to her shaking me, and I like jolted up. I thought there was like a fire or something. I was so I was so on alert.
Yeah.
She's like, banana split. I'm like, yes, hon. She's like, I just wet the bed. And I was like, are you serious? I didn't say this to her, but I'm thinking in my head. And mind you, this is like the second to last night. I'm like,
are you kidding me?
Are you serious right now? I'm like, okay. And so I was like, it's okay, hon. I just had to keep reassuring her. I was like, it's okay, hon. Did you change already? Or are you still in your wet clothes? She's like, I'm still in my wet clothes. I was like, okay, what I want you to go do is get some fresh clothes, go change in the bathroom. I'm going to be right back. And so what I did is I felt so bad. I had to walk into, because we had like a buddy counselor, just because we couldn't leave the campers alone in the room. So I like walked across to the buddy counselor, who was also asleep, and I said, I'm so sorry. I just need to let you know that a camper wet the bed, and I need you just to keep an eye on my campers as well as yours. And she was like, oh joy. So I run over to my supervisors, because this is what we were told to do. If a kid wet the bed, go wake up your club leader, our camp was organized in clubs. So club leader was in charge of all of us. So I went up and I woke her up. Her camp name was Pazuki. It's like Pazuki. And I felt so bad. It's like Pazuki. And I had to tell her. So she knew exactly what to do. She came in. We grabbed her sheets, because they had to bring their own sheets. At that point, she had changed. We took her wet clothes, and then we went and she went and put them in the washing machine. And I just was like thinking to myself, like, this girl just completed 4th grade and is peeing the bed. I felt so bad. And then and then we fixed the sheets. She went to bed. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to be as discreet as possible, because the girls are going to notice that's not her bedding. The girls are going to notice that was not the clothes she went to bed last night. So whenever someone made comment about it, I just would say, oh, you know, she probably, oh, I think she just changed in the middle of the night. It's fine. Like, we don't need it. We don't need to talk about it, type of thing. And I tell you, this girl, every chance she had, because she was embarrassed, and she kept telling me she was embarrassed. It's like, it's okay. We won't mention it in front of the other girls. But every chance she could, she would whisper it through the loud whisper, be like, Banana Split, when am I going to get my bedding back? And I'm like, girl, if you don't want them to ask questions,
then stop asking me in front of anybody.
In front of them. And so the girls would be like, well, why did you have to take her bedding last night? And it was just like,
connect the dots.
I like looked at this girl. I was like, you are. So anyways, that was my.
Wow.
Sorry, that was from favorite animal to
peen stories.
Okay. Next one.
Favorite movie.
That's hard. I don't think I can pick. I have different categories of favorite films.
I thought you had a favorite.
I have a comfort movie. So whenever I'm sad, I have to watch Sound of Music.
Okay.
That movie makes me so happy. But then like my favorite like 2000s like comedy is She's the Man. Because I mean, that's such a we watched that on my birthday this past year.
We did.
I also really like Catch Me If You Can.
Yep. Because
as Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, and Steven Spielberg, like, and it's based off a true story. And the new West Side Story. I could watch that. Those 4 movies I could watch on a loop.
All right. Are you ready for mine?
Have we seen it? Have we watched it together?
My first one? My top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I guess?
Yeah. We watched it for my birthday.
Oh, Father of the Bride.
Father of the Bride. Because I can't separate the two. Father of the Bride Part 1 and 2 with Steve Martin Short. That's my favorite movie. Both of them back to back. Number 2, Holiday Inn.
Good
Classic.
movie.
Number 3, Emperor's New Groove.
Good movie.
Number 4, Instant Family. Have you ever seen that with Mark Wahlberg?
I have, but that's definitely not one of my favorite films. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And number 5, Little Women.
Which Little Woman?
The new one. The 2019 version.
No, the 90s one.
The 90s one is good, but the 2019 version
Did you see
different.
Did you see the 90s one first?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
I did.
That's see,
which is weird that I actually like this one more, but I think it's just in the way that they tell the story.
See, that's the thing that I don't like about the new one is that I don't like the back and forth. That's the thing I like. We during like a couple days before, I think it was like the 23rd of December, a few of us went over to our friends Georgie and Donovan's house.
Mm-hmm.
And we like somehow got the guys on board to watch Little Women, and Georgie hasn't seen the new one. She's only seen the 90s one. And so Georgie was like, I'm down to watch the new one. I just hope it's good because this is the first time her husband Donovan was watching Little Women.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot how they edited it.
Yeah.
Where it goes back and forth. And we started watching it. I was like, oh, crap. We should have watched the 90s one first. Because Donovan was so confused.
Yeah. If you don't know the story, it's very easy to get confused.
Because also, like, you could tell by the colors.
But if you're not paying attention,
you don't know. So it was like this. So we'd have to pause it, like, constantly and kind of, like, explain what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just... Yeah. So, and now I don't even know if he wants to even try to watch the 90s one. But Georgie, literally, we were getting halfway through it. And she's like, why didn't we just watch the 90s one? I was like, I know. I regret it too. Also, Christian Bale's in that. In my personal favorite era of Christian Bale is Newsies era.
It's great.
Yeah.
Favorite show?
That's also hard.
I have a top 5 for everything.
The one I could watch over and over again is Glee. And it's hard just because of certain things that are discussed in Glee based off of my morals and beliefs with the Lord. But I can watch Glee over and over again.
Glee is hilarious, I will say.
A new one that as of the last year that's also a comfort, Anne with an E.
Oh,
I could watch Anne with the E is the most cringiest show, but
it's not even cringy.
It's cringy.
It's really not that cringy. Glee is cringier than
I don't know. I can argue that it's not. There's just this.
How I base the cringe factor is, would Skylar watch it? Our friend Skylar hates cringy things.
Skylar would not watch Anne with an E.
He would watch that over Glee. I fully believe that.
I don't know. I know Skylar pretty well.
But I don't think Anne with an E is that cringy.
I could just think of the one.
Julie and the Phantoms is cringy?
Oh, 120,000%. I had to skip through half of Julie and the Phantoms, or just like skim through it.
How do you skim through cinematic masterpiece?
She can't love a ghost. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, we are not having this argument on this podcast. We have argued about this so many times. If you guys have ever seen Julie and the Phantoms, if you haven't, please watch it. It's on Netflix. If you have watched it, let us know if you think that Julie can love Luke even though he's a ghost.
No, absolutely not.
Here's my thing.
No. Oh,
they
sorry.
even hug at the end.
Yeah. That was the part that got even weirder because he's still technically dead.
Okay,
so what?
But there was going to be more. And then freaking Netflix decides to cancel all the good shows. Anne with an E included.
That's what I'm upset about. All right, let me finish. Holy.
Okay,
so
sorry.
I have Glee, Anne with an E,
Mm-hmm.
Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those are up there. I have shows that I rewatch during season. So it's like I always rewatch Gilmore Girls during the fall.
Yeah.
I somehow,
a lot of people do that.
I don't know why, but I always rewatch Gossip Girl during the springtime.
You know you love me.
XOXO.
Gossip Girl.
I always watch Gossip Girl like during the springtime, and then I will watch Glee through at least once throughout the year. But I wouldn't necessarily say that like Gossip Girl is one of my favorite shows. It's just, I don't know, to me it's a springtime show, which is so funny because I think half of it's in the winter.
Yeah, because it's in New York.
But
It'd be cold up there.
I think, and then I think growing up though, like, and I already know you're gonna say this one too. Growing up, like the one I watched the most growing up was Boy Meets World. That was like the one like my parents would be down to watch too. So, alrighty, what's yours?
Show.
Let me guess. Boy Meets World.
So I have a top 5. Number 1, Boy Meets World, obviously. Number 2, Psych, obviously. It's funny because I own every single season of Psych on DVD, which is fantastic for me. If they ever take it off of anything, I got it. Number 3, Anne with an E.
Wow,
Didn't know that. Good. It's so good. Number 4, The Mentalist. Have you ever seen it?
Mm-mm.
Great show. And number 5, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Great show.
I couldn't get into that.
Oh, the first season
and
is
I'm
the
a
best
big
season.
Marvel, and I'm a big Marvel person
The
too.
first season is I don't even equate that because it's not even
Yeah.
the same. But I love that show. But my kind of runner-up that kind of goes hand in hand with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like they could be interchangeable, New Girl. I love New
Girl's
Girl.
funny.
I loved New Girl.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I want to add one.
Yeah.
The Big Bang Theory. That's like,
Really?
that's my favorite, I think, sitcom.
Wait,
That's my favorite.
The Middle.
The Middle's good.
I love The Middle.
The Middle's good, but I think The Big Bang Theory is like my favorite sitcom, and I always wanted to watch it, and I'd seen clips growing up, but it wasn't until COVID happened and lockdown happened that I actually watched all of it, and like there's 12 seasons. It was a really long run show. I've
never seen it, but
that show, no matter what episode, will bring a actual physical laugh out of me.
Yeah.
There were times during lockdown where my dad would have to came into the room because I was still living with my dad. He would be like, "What's so funny?" And I'd replay him the scene, and he wouldn't think it was that funny, but it's so funny. So, all right, good shows. What? Why are you laughing?
I was gonna word it in a different way, but then I decided not to. If you're going to a coffee shop, what is your go-to order?
I'm not the biggest coffee
girl.
girl.
Like if you're going to like Memento,
what
is your go-to order?
Well, if
you're going to Starbucks, what's your go-to order?
My go-to Starbucks order is a white chocolate mocha with oat milk.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the season, iced or hot.
Yeah.
I also really like matcha.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like a normal coffee shop, I used to always get vanilla lattes, but I've really gotten into chai, which I know chai is tea, but I love tea. I prefer tea over coffee. So I get like an iced chai, sometimes with a shot of espresso. So
dirty
coffee,
chai?
Yeah, dirty chai.
Oof.
with oat milk. That to me is the most tastiest drink right now. I've been buying chais and keeping them
So
in my
good.
apartment because I love them. What about you?
I have 2. Mine used to be the same up until a few months ago. If I would walk into a coffee shop anywhere I would go, I'd get an iced caramel macchiato. Now, I majority of the time will order a cold brew.
Ooh. I
So
don't like
with
cold
some
brew.
cold foam. But yeah, I'm a big coffee girl, espresso, all the things I very much enjoy.
Oop, just punched the mic with my blanket. Sorry.
I really don't think you're going to be able to hear my AC, but I really hope you can't.
Yeah, you were able to hear mine when we did the separate recording. Also,
Yeah.
we're now officially sitting in the pitch black.
It is pretty dark in here. I have really, like, I can see because I have this shining in my face, but I can't really see you that well.
I'm exhausted.
It's
too,
only
so
like,
I'm like
7:05 p.m. and
I
Steph
know.
is falling asleep on the floor of my
That's
bedroom.
new.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Do you have another?
Favorite musical?
No. No.
I have 2.
It's hard because I grew up. One of my favorite movies growing up was Newsies, and so I love Newsies, dearly. So it's up there. Legally Blonde, the musical. Before any of you who are listening
That's
to
in my
this
top
judge
2.
me, if any of you guys judge me, you need to go on
You need to
YouTube.
watch it.
It's on YouTube for free.
The MTV version.
The MTV version. It is by far, I prefer it more than the film.
I do too, because I quite literally will sit there and I will sing every word, and I am
Keep it positive.
obsessed
It's so good.
with
And then-
what's his face?
Christian Boyle.
Yes,
I love Christian Boyle. He's on Smash. Another good show.
I've never seen Smash, but
is
I
really
want
good.
to see
If
it.
you like musical theater and Broadway, you'd like Smash. And then I also really, really love Wicked, but I've never actually. You know what's so funny is I have never seen those three in person. I've just watched bootlegs, or like they filmed Newsies a few years ago.
You know that we're about to go see Wicked.
We're gonna go see.
in like
this is
3
this is
months.
the first time Wicked's come to Nashville in probably 10 years.
I am so excited.
So yeah, I didn't really get into Wicked until like I was 16. So I'm very excited, and it will be the 20th anniversary in October, and they're gonna be here in October, so it's gonna be extra special.
for my birthday, that's where we're going.
I know. So
Yeah, Wicked is definitely, like, I have always said Wicked, but in the like last couple of months, Legally Blonde has really crept itself up to be almost the top. I did Legally Blonde as my senior year production in high school and absolutely loved the show. I listened to the soundtrack. Legally Blonde, like the title track, is in my on repeat playlist right now on Spotify. I like love it. With Laura Bell Bundy and Christian Borle going back and forth, like love that song so much. But also I have really come to love oh my gosh, my thought just literally left my head. What show was I just about to say?
Dear Evan Hansen.
No.
Phantom of the Opera.
No. Oh, Guys and Dolls. That's where I was
Guys and
going.
Dolls is good.
Guys and Dolls. I
sit myself down.
love it.
You're rocking the boat, man.
Yeah.
I really got into Dear Evan Hansen. It's a very sad
I didn't watch the movie.
story. Okay, everyone hates the movie. I didn't think the movie was too bad.
No, the only thing I don't want to watch is I don't want to watch Ben Platt CGI'd into being a high school student when he's clearly like
him.
His body. Yeah, they did.
No.
Yes, they did. His body. That's not. No, he does not look like that in real life.
I didn't see anything about that. You can show me.
Googling it.
You can show me after.
I will show you after.
But
it's bad.
I think they should have hired, because they have the person that succeeded him on Broadway was actually 16 when he took on the lead role. And I think that they should have done that, because this is where I was at. I was like, I would have been okay if they would have kept Ben, but they should have done the whole entire original Broadway cast. Like they should have had Mike Feist in it. You know, they should have just had everybody. That would have made the most sense if they're going to do that, because then everyone also would have looked older. Or they just needed to do completely. It was the fact that it was in the middle that was weird. But I didn't hate the movie. There were some people that said it was like completely off the story, but again, the bootleg I watched of it, I definitely prefer the musical. But
they put him in prosthetics for his body.
But that's not CGI.
Okay, but still, his body looked awful. Like his head looked so unproportionate to his body, and he just also looks way too old to be playing a high school student. No offense, love Ben Platt. Like I think he's fantastic, but
yeah. Well, he looked the part when they first opened in 2016.
For sure, but not in the movie.
Yeah, but anyways,
let's see.
Excuse me.
I'm so tired. You're over here yawning. Let's see. What is your favorite thing? Ooh. Favorite vacation you've ever taken?
That's hard. It's so sad, but I think my favorite vacation was one of the first vacations we took after my mom died, which sucks because obviously that's before my mom died.
Thing. Yeah.
It was a year after my mom passed away. My dad wanted to do a Disney cruise for his 60th birthday. And so we booked it right after mom died, and but the thing was, it was just me, my dad, and my sister, and that was the first time the three of us had ever done a vacation together. And because my sister and I don't have, we share a dad, not a mom, so we've never been able to do a ton of things, just the three of us. But it was just, I think it was a 7-day long cruise. My dad got a really nice cabin for us. They went off and did stuff together, and I made so many friends in the teen club. I never saw them unless it was at dinner. That was the only rule.
Yeah.
We had to have dinner together. And I met the most amazing people on there. If any of you guys are listening to this, I dearly still love you. Like I met the guy who took me to prom, Jack.
Yeah.
I met Jack on that cruise. We had so much fun. I'm forever grateful for that experience. Like, for me, that was one of the first times, this is gonna sound really sad, that was one of the first times that I met people that genuinely wanted to hang out with me.
Yeah.
And I was like still going through the whole high school thing of feeling not good enough and feeling more like I was just a convenience than an actual friend.
Yeah.
And so it was just crazy because that whole entire cruise, I really didn't plan anything. People invited me to stuff. I was like, okay, this is different.
That's nice. Yeah.
So that, but I would say probably but with my mom, there was a cruise we did in 2013. It was also a Disney cruise. That was a really fun vacation as well with my mom. That was like right before my mom like got really sick, and so she was still able to get up and do things. So that was fun. But yeah, what about you?
Favorite vacation, it's probably between two. First one being cruise we went on January 2020. It was my family plus Jonah's friend Eam and my friend Carly, and we went to Jamaica. No lie, wow, that was our first cruise. We went to Puerto Rico. That's where I got my first tattoo. Fun fact. That was a whole other story. That was a very much spur of the moment thing. We went to Puerto Rico, and then we were supposed to go to Grand Turk, but because of weather, we didn't end up getting to stop. So we ended up having another sea day, which was fine. It was like a 7-day cruise or 8-day cruise. Yeah. And we went, where else did we go? I don't even remember where else we went. It was, we went to St. Martin, and we hiked.
I love St. Martin.
Me, my dad, and Carly hiked along the whole coast of the island. It was beautiful.
Everyone says that, because if you go on a cruise that goes to St. Martin, 9 times out of 10 you're also going to St. John. People were saying that St. John was going to be prettier, but I arguably disagree and say that St. Martin's beautiful. Like, for years, this is before my dad met Kathy, but for years my dad said he was going to retire and open an ice cream stand in St. Martin. That's how much he loved St. Martin. St.
Martin was so beautiful.
That was the cruise we did with my sister.
Fun story. When we were in St. Martin, me, my dad, and Carly hiked along the coast, and when we were done, we had 2 hours before, we were setting sail again, before we had to be back on the boat. So we took a boat over to another part of the island, and we were walking around, looking at all the shops, all the stuff, and we went to this one place to get a drink, and then we noticed it started to rain, and then we looked at the clock, and we had to be back on the ship in 30 minutes. And we were about 3 miles away, walking distance. And we were no way. So we're trying to flag down these boats. We finally flagged down this boat to take us back to where the ship is. And it starts downpouring like you wouldn't believe. We're getting whaled with wind. It was so bad. We almost missed the ship. It was grand time. That vacation, or I would probably say my trip, this will be controversial with my friends, but my trip to Colorado in 2021. Yeah. That'll be controversial to my friends because I don't think that they would agree with me, but I think it was cool to go somewhere mountainous and more adventurous rather than going to a beach. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the time when you think vacation, you think of I'm going to go to Florida, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there, which is great.
My family, it's going on vacation, we're going to Disney World.
Oh, well, yeah. And for me, it's going to Florida to visit my aunt, but this was cool because it was a different type of vacation I went to. I got to go more west. I got to go see Red Rocks and just see all this different place, the Rocky Mountains. It was just so cool.
Yeah, that's why I like cruises. That's why we always did Disney cruises, because we still got the thing that we love, which is Disney, but it was a 10 times better vacation. They spoil you on those cruises,
and you get to go other places too, which is so cool. you get to see 3 or 4 places depending on how long of a cruise you're going on.
I've been to I did an Eastern Caribbean, did a Western Caribbean. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Alaska. I've been to Canada on cruises.
I'm so jealous of the Alaska
I've been to Nassau more times than I can count.
I've been to Nassau too. Yeah.
But yeah,
Crazy.
very, very fortunate I got to do those for sure.
I agree. Yeah. I love cruises. Love them. Yeah. I just sniffed into the mic. I do that every week.
I'll just into the mic if that makes you feel any better.
Anyways.
Favorite tattoo?
I don't know. I feel like because they all have a specific meaning to me. I have a yes tattoo on my ankle. Then a little bit above that, I have 2 butterflies my mom and I got together. And then I have one on my arm that says meant to live. I will say the meant to live one was the most thought out tattoo that I've had, because when I originally thought about getting a tattoo when I was like 16, I'm like, we were meant to live for so much more, because there's a song by Switchfoot called Meant to Live. And it's the purpose of like, we're meant to live for so much more, we're like not meant to live for ourselves, we're meant to live for Christ. And so I wanted that tattoo, and over time it changed places, but that was the tattoo I always wanted to get. So when I got that one, I was like, it felt so good to actually finally do it. So I think that one would probably be my favorite. What about you?
I only have 2, and it's really hard. Probably my first.
Yeah.
But I do really like my new one. I got Spirit Lead Me on my wrist. I need to get it touched up badly. But it's a very fine line. And I didn't realize that fine line literally like flakes off and you have to go get it touched up. So, but apparently that's normal. So,
yeah.
But my first one, if you look on my Instagram, you could probably find a photo of it. It's on my left arm.
Elbow pit.
Yeah. But it's basically a drawing representing, I think it's Matthew 17:20 of faith as small as a mustard seed will move mountains. That was my mom's favorite Bible verse. And the placement of it, like he figured out like the best placement of it to where no matter if my arm is down to my side or if I'm holding it out, it still looks centered. I don't know how he did it, because we tried it a couple different times and it would look off center one of the ways. And then all of a sudden he like set it down for 2 seconds and I was like, wait a minute. So
I think it's really cool.
Yeah. And I for years was thinking I always wanted tattoos, but I thought my OCD-ness would want to wash it off or get rid of it. And I've had my first one for almost a year now, and if anything I just forget it's there.
Yeah. Like sometimes I really forget with the butterflies on my on my ankle. I forgot it was there one time and I thought I had a bug on my leg, and I like freaked out.
Oh my gosh, I got into the shower this morning and so
oh no,
I live in an apartment complex, and every once in a while there'll be like farmer spiders or whatever they're called. They come up through the drain. They're harmless.
Shut up. They come up through the drain?
I think
Steph,
so.
That is a new fear of... Oh my god.
Sorry.
I have such bad arachnophobia.
Let me finish. Well, I also live on the bottom floor. I doubt this will happen to you living all the way up the top floor. Anyways, but I also grew up on a farm, like on a ranch. I saw these spiders everywhere, so they don't scare me. But anyways, they normally come out towards
Sorry if you just heard me drop my computer. It definitely registered on here. Sorry. Disclaimer.
But anyways, they normally come out during the summer. So I'm used to like opening my like curtain in my shower and seeing a spider in there, and I just kill it and let it be. But anyways, I hop in the shower this morning, and all of a sudden, like I turn around to wash my back, and I just see it. And mind you, I don't really get freaked out by those spiders because, again, I know they're harmless, and I see them like this is gonna sound, I don't see them that often, but it's like I've seen them enough that like it's fine. And so, but I think it just took me out of, it just shook me because it just happened so quickly, and I screamed bloody murder and basically jumped out of the tub and fell.
No.
So yeah, so I ended up and then mind you, I was just washing my body, so I had soap all over, and so I like grabbed, and I was like, crap, I don't have anything in my bathroom right now that I could kill a spider with. I ended up grabbing my thing of self tanner and like killing it.
No,
it was fine, but
no,
it won't happen to you. You live too far up for spiders to crawl up.
Let me tell you how bad my arachnophobia is. Like, spiders are my biggest fear. now that we're talking about it, Lord, please do not allow me to have a dream about spiders. I quite literally.
Oh, you would not like the
No,
second
I don't want
Harry
to know.
Potter.
I can barely watch the third Lord of the Rings movie. I can barely watch because they have the giant spider.
No, it's worse.
No, I don't want to know. Don't even say. So I can literally. I just went to go watch Return of the King in theaters for the 20th anniversary. I quite literally during that whole scene shut my eyes because I don't do spiders. So basically, the small, I don't care how big the spider is, I will not kill it. There was one time when I was still living at home that a spider started, it was in the corner up in the bathtub, and it kept moving closer to me. I was like, nah. I had my mom come and kill this spider for me while I was showering. But earlier this week, I have never seen a spider inside of my apartment ever, which is truth. Thank you, Lord. I hate spiders. They also have pest control come all the time. Actually, pest control came yesterday.
Pest control
2 days
comes too. Do they actually spray in your apartment?
Yeah.
They come inside?
They come inside and they spray all the corners of every room in my
apartment. They don't. I think you have to, they say pest control is coming if they want you. So maybe I should suggest them spraying my apartment.
Yeah, they spray at least once a month. But I walked up and my door is black. The outside of my door is black. And I saw movement and it was a spider the size of a quarter. And I was like, I sat there and I waited for it to crawl off of my door and far away from my apartment before I went inside because I was like, absolutely not.
I think for me, I just grew up on a farm, so spiders don't freak me out. I don't like mice, and I don't like snakes.
Oh, I literally growing up, me and my brothers would go and catch snakes with my dad.
But this is how polar opposite, because I will gladly kill a spider. I don't mess with mice or snakes. When we moved out of my childhood home, I don't know why, but all of a sudden my room became the place that mice like to hang out. And I would scream. I would refuse to sleep in my room. This is literally what I would do. We had 3 cats at the time. I would throw the cats into the room and close my door and just let them kill the mice. That sounds awful, but no, it was happening I would so too, probably. Much. I hate snakes. We would have farmer snakes all the time.
Garter snakes?
Garter snakes, yeah. We'd have those all the time at the ranch. But again, those would be in the barn. So it's like
we used to have fun with it.
I know, absolutely not. They freaked me out way too much. So
yeah. Well, anyways,
I think that might be it.
Yeah.
We were trying to keep it short, and then we talked.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say really quickly, earlier today we were talking about our list of what we look for in a husband. One of my things, must kill spiders for me. Must. Absolutely. If I start dating a man and there's a spider and I say kill it, if they don't kill it, I'm breaking up with you.
I think I have a couple, I hate calling them stupid ones, but when I wrote down my list, it's so funny that you, me, and Genesis all did this.
I don't have a list.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, you should do it. It's fun.
I know I should write a list.
But Jen and I have a list.
But that is on my list.
Jen and I have a list, but she was saying one of I shouldn't say one of hers, but she was saying one of hers, and it was super mundane, and I was like, okay, that makes me feel better about the ones I had, because literally one of mine is has to tolerate my Disney obsession, and then another one is will allow me to steal sweatshirts.
Oh,
because I dated this one guy who refused to give me his sweatshirt. I would be freezing. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I'd be freezing. He'd let me wear it, but he wouldn't let me take it home. So it's if we were at a football game or something like that, and he let me wear it, but then when we separated, I had to give it back to him.
Our guy friends wouldn't even do that.
I know.
Wow.
But it was just he was just I just know you're going to take it and then never give it back.
If you ask for it back, I'm going to give it back if you're really that mad about it.
Yeah,
but that's ridiculous.
It was the most and it was only if I was shivering.
That's ridiculous.
I know. So
yeah.
I will gladly, if I ever date you in the future, to someone who's listening to this.
I thought you were talking to me at first, and I was like, Steph, what?
No, but if someone's listening to this and I ever date you in the future, I will give you back your sweatshirt gladly, but you just need to let me be able to take it home when I want to and wear it, and just be polite about it and not.
As Jude once said, Steph, he'll want to do that with you. Nina, he'll want to do that for
Yeah.
you.
I don't need
And
you to be obsessed with Disney. I just need you to be able to like go with me
Yeah.
and like make it fun.
I just
and
need
not
you to be
complain.
able to kill spiders for me.
I
And
need-
be taller than me.
Oh yeah, that's a big one for Nina.
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's it.
Anyways.
We got very sidetracked.
That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah, I think we definitely like talking about like stuff like this, so we
Mhm.
maybe incorporate it a little more often, but
Yeah.
at the same time trying to keep the purpose of the podcast about Jesus.
Faux show.
But I think we both listen to podcasts like this all the time, so I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well thank you all for listening.
Thank ya.
We will see you next week.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.